It's not even funny.
Good evening. Today is Tuesday, July 11th, and this is a meeting of the Town of Litchfield Recreation Commission. Call to order. My name is Peter Ames. I am the chair of the commission. We'll start with the roll call. Andy Ruggles, vice chair.
Present.
Judy Brennan, secretary.
Present.
Steve Weber, selectman's rep.
Present.
Chris Burns, member.
Present.
And Jeff Town, alternate member.
Present.
Great. And first order of business is we can vote to have Jeff be a full member tonight. Is there such a motion?
I'll make the motion. I will second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions, passes 5-0-0. All right.
You are whole now.
All right, we have one set of minutes from June 13th minutes. Have members had a chance to review the minutes from last month?
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Motion has been made. Is there a second?
Second.
A second. Oh, you
Go
can
ahead.
second.
You have it.
You guys are so courteous. Okay. All right, are there any discussion or changes to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Passes 4-0-2. Thank you. All right, we will open public input. And as there are no members of the public in the room, we will close public input. Is this pace good enough for you, Andy?
I love it.
Okay.
Keep it rolling.
Very good. And only one facility request, right? So we
Yeah,
can,
it's really the extension.
yep, this is the one we
So
talked about.
I put in for the full week, that way they can check with the showcase college coaches or scouts and pick the days that work best if they have to make up any days. So I just put it in for the whole week since it was open.
I think it's fine because it's open, yep.
And
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the soccer showcase to use Sawmill Park between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. From July 17th to July 21st due to inclement weather, which postponed it this week.
a second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, passes 6-0-0.
I will let him know that it's official.
Thank you, Judy. All right, moving into new business. Maintenance expenditures. This is yours, Judy, right? For the,
Yeah, so you had asked about that, and I did send an email to Kim Kleiner
Okay.
regarding it. So my thought was when something breaks or we need to buy something to replace it or fix it, if we have to wait till we come to a meeting, it can take a month, like in our summer months, just to vote on, okay, you can go buy that, then you gotta go buy it, then you gotta go repair it. We're talking 6 weeks. So I was
The
wondering if
chair
we
can
could
approve
do-
up to how much?
That's what I
Nothing.
was,
Oh, I thought they could approve up to 500.
So what
bucks or
happened
something.
was we had thought one time that chairs were like department heads,
Okay.
right? But however, upon further investigation, they're not department heads. We only can work as a body as a whole.
Okay.
So what we could do is we could make a motion to grant the power to the chair up to X amount of dollars without coming in front of the board.
that's what I was aiming for, and
Yeah.
that's what and he said, I don't know if we can, so I did send an email to Kim, and I gave her some specifics, like the slide cracked,
Yep.
yeah.
and kids are getting hurt on it. So we tape it off, we put up a sign, somebody rips it down, they're back there again. And, I mean, we all do it, we all spend money out of our pocket, but it's constantly happening, because if we don't, then we're waiting till we come here. And I mean, we don't want the slide shut down for 6 weeks, you know what I mean? Or the little
Yeah.
piece on the swing.
Things, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it does, if Peter would be able to even, $150 or
Yep.
$200, approve it so we could make a quick fix, the handicap signs that need cement. I'm out of cement at home, so I'd have to go buy some more, to put up the ones that fell and are lying in the tall grass at Sawmill Park.
So from what I understand, we can give that power. I mean, we can make a motion if we choose to as a whole, and then we could always follow up with Ms. Kleiner. But I believe
Okay.
that if we grant the power to the chair to do that, we'll be okay.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
For how much?
Up to what dollar value?
Up
do we
to
want?
$500. That sound reasonable, or
Yeah,
$1,000?
that's what we had before, $500. And then we can, and
I'm comfortable.
pending whatever, if it goes against anything.
It keeps us moving, especially as Judy said in the summer months.
Yeah, so we have a motion and a second, is that here? Or,
Yeah.
Yep.
okay,
Up to 500? Or would we? say
Yes, I'll make a
500?
motion up
Okay.
to allow Peter to, spend up to $500 for emergency.
Let's make it the rec chair, just in case.
Or the
Peter's-
rec chair, rec chair,
Yeah.
to make, emergency expenditures on our behalf.
so we have a motion and a second from Jeff. Further discussion?
We don't want to make it Peter in perpetuity, so it's,
Well,
Is there an expiration on that, and what happens after the $500 is met?
I think it's 500
Is it per transaction?
Per
How do we want to
transaction,
do it?
yeah.
I mean, it comes down to the will of
Yeah.
the board here, because we work as a
Right.
whole, right?
Okay.
And it depends what it is that breaks. It might be something that costs $20, or it might be let's say, I don't know, the sink falls off the wall in the bathroom, you know?
So I'd say that if we could do this, it would be very helpful just to get things
Done.
corrected quickly and not
Yeah.
have folks have to front money.
Well, why don't we say up to $500 in a given month, but in between a meeting?
Well, let me make an additional point, because I really respect what Kim's been trying to do to get
yep.
consistency among the boards, and get us to a best practice. So, I'm a little bit hesitant to do it at this meeting, I guess, because I'd love to check with her first to get some details, and how she would like to do that, because I would like to follow, her advice on that. Just to be in line with what their boards or commissions are doing. The issue is if something comes up in the next couple of weeks, because we don't have another meeting for a month. So we could approve it, and pending, if we're not in line, we can make adjustments next month, but
Yep.
if we are
Can we
in
do
line-
it for 1 month anyway? And if she gets the email and says, no, you can't do that, it's illegal or whatever, then we,
We'll just make it,
gosh,
just make it pending her approval.
yeah, pending her approval.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Her guidance.
Okay.
So I think what we had in the past with Steve was for items up to 500.
Correct, it was items up to $500, because we were following the purchasing policy of the town.
Yeah.
Most boards and commissions were,
So-
until we realized that they're not department heads. Because the way the purchasing policy reads is department heads.
Okay.
so this dollar amount,
It was a dollar amount, up to $500.
Okay,
A
so-
department head could do within the purchasing policy.
so yeah, 500 is the right number for this as well.
So let me just get this language exact, and then I'll send that to Kim, but we've had a couple different versions, so what do you want it to
So-
say exactly?
The motion to allow the recreational chair to expend up to $500.
Approve expenditures?
To approve expenditures. Up to $500 in case of emergency
Or repair.
Per-
yeah.
repair
Per-
per event.
Up to $500,
Per
in
event.
guidance with the purchasing policy. We
Oh,
could
yeah,
say,
that was,
right?
could be good, yep. Can you read that back to us, Peter?
Per event or between meetings or?
I think it's per
Per
request.
Per request, yeah.
I mean,
Chances
Not
are
very
it's not gonna be
often
that.
It's not too often we have to
But
do it,
if-
but, if something comes up, as you said, the slide when it's down, I mean, that was
Right,
to
and
do.
then you'd have to be there every 2 days, taping it up, putting up the sign, then you get more
Yeah.
messages that kids are getting hurt on the slide, and
All right, so let me read this and we can pare it down. So allow the Recreation Commission Chair to approve expenditures in guidance with the purchasing policy up to $500 in case of emergency per request.
or is emergency considered maintenance or repair? Okay,
Pending.
pending,
Pending
pending
Yeah.
approval.
town administrator's guidance.
yeah.
All right, so it's a bit bumpy because it's got like 10 qualifiers in it.
It does.
Do we need that last sentence pending approval from the town administrator, guidance from the town administrator? Because it could be read as you need guidance from the town administrator every time.
That is.
Is that the intent?
No,
No.
No, it
We
is,
want-
we want
So
to
we could
verify
put
with her that we're
period.
within the legal bounds of granting the permission to the chair.
Okay, so if we're not, then the motion is just null.
no, it doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
So
that's
I-
what we're trying to get to, is that verbiage.
Yeah, I think we can just leave that sentence off And then if we find ourselves out of bounds when we talk to the town administrator, then
can just-
we talk about it next month.
Yep.
And otherwise, we're done.
We can make a motion to get rid of the motion.
There we go.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right, so allow Recreation Commission Chair to approve expenditures in guidance with the purchasing policy or in alignment
In alignment.
with the purchasing policy, up to $500 in case of emergency per request. Are folks okay with that language?
Very, very much so.
All right, so that's the motion. Second is still good in that language.
Yep.
Further discussion.
Nope.
Good, you look thoughtful.
Oh, no, it was my idea. I just want to get things done in a timely manner and not
Absolutely,
have
yep.
things looking broken or awful for 6 weeks, because
Sure.
we need approval to buy some Bondo or something.
All right. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Abstain. 501 passes. Thank you. Thank you, Judy, for raising it. All right, as we continue on the issue of money, it is budget season. And so, Steve, I'll probably be asking you to help chime in here along the way to make sure we're
Okay.
on track. But I want to kind of lay out what we're looking at here and what the work before us is tonight. So the town is starting to draft next year's budget. They're looking to get drafts from commissions by the end of this month. And then rec would go before the Board of Selectmen on August 28th. And they'll make a recommendation, and then the Budget Committee, we go before them on October 5th for their recommendation. So we have a draft budget, which is essentially the same funding levels as last year. And that's what we can modify them. That's just kind of the, what it's pegged to for the draft. What I'd like to do tonight is go through each line item to see if that number still makes sense, and where we might want to adjust that. I'll put that into the template for y'all to take a look at. It's not something we can all modify, because they don't want 20,000 versions of budget drafts, so I'll kind of control the modification of it as we go along to keep kind of one source of truth, but we'll put it in there, we'll review it over the next couple of weeks. We don't need to vote, as I understand it, for that final draft. We just need to have consensus on that draft by the end of this month, which I think we can do over email. Does that sound like an okay process?
Works for me.
Okay, all right. So we can go ahead, start through the lines. I think we're all looking at the same document. This is the expenditure report from a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So custodian wages, we have had changes in that this year, and so as we've talked about, like, that's a pretty essential service, and as town hall gets more use, the frequency of the service, we've had to pull them in a couple times. I might suggest we bump this one a bit.
So that
And
line
if there's
item's in
any-
flux right now, the custodian retired,
Yep,
so now we have to go out and find other custodial contracts.
okay,
So that will be probably more dependent on what the town as a whole finds for janitorial services.
Yep.
And then based on that rate and the hours we use it,
Right.
the number will get plugged for that.
okay.
So we may be better off plugging in hours in there that we think is needed.
So
Do you
they-
know what this hourly rate was based on before?
Yes, this was at 5 hours per week at $14.43.
This is just for town hall, right?
Yes, that was the only facility that was cleaned for us.
So bump it up to,
Is 5 hours a week enough?
that seems more than
More
adequate
than-
for
I
that
mean,
place.
How much
Yeah,
time could
because
really be there
some-
to,
If it's just for town hall.
and what really happens?
I think
The
some
barrels get
seasons
emptied,
need
right?
more.
The bathrooms get cleaned,
Floors get swept.
floors get swept, and during COVID, they were spraying doorknobs and stuff, but other than that, I mean, that's pretty much what gets cleaned in there, I mean.
Even if
do
you
that-
did it twice a week, I don't
I
think it
mean,
would take
that
5
doesn't
hours.
seem like
Yeah.
2.5 hours worth of work right there.
'Cause I think 5 hours a week is
I think it's
fine, and
sufficient.
then that way, if we know we have an event, and let's say cleaning happens on Monday, and we have an event on Friday night, we can order an extra hour of cleaning.
I wish there was a way to track the hours that they're actually in there cleaning it, right? And we only
Right.
get charged the hours that they're there.
We'll put a punch clock in there.
Well, don't they have
is
to unlock, oh, I was gonna say if they unlock the doors, but if somebody's already in there, they're not unlocking the doors.
Because then if we needed more time, right, we could just be working off an allotment of time.
Yeah,
Because there's times in the summer that it doesn't even get used.
I can't imagine, that doesn't take 5 hours a week. There's no way.
No. So that would be a great thing if somehow we could monitor the
Twice.
hours that it was used.
Twice a week is the expectation currently that they'd be cleaned twice a week?
You would think in the winter, right? Because it's used,
Winter,
it's
I would
utilized
think so.
every single day. So you could even say maybe, depending
I
on heavy
think it's
usage, you
only
could be
getting
3
done,
times a
I
week.
think it's only getting done once a week.
I think it is too on Sundays.
But it seems like basketball season, it probably should be done a little more often, and the toilet paper
Twice a week.
restocked and that kind
I'm
of.
telling you, I don't think 5 hours a week of cleaning has been done there.
No. Even if we said it was the winter time when pickleball's in there every day, basketball's in there, baseball's in there, softball's in there. I mean,
So
the
the
scouts
floor's
go
not
in
really
there.
getting done if.
That
people are
could
in
be
there.
three
No,
times
and
a
the
week.
bathrooms were,
They weren't getting,
Rough
no.
shape
We did it
and-
for comedy show. I mean,
Yeah.
one individual spent a whole lot of time in
spent
there.
about 2 hours in there cleaning the bathroom.
To the point we had to go in and check on them.
No, but it's,
You might still be
I
in
mean,
there.
it's, seems like if 5 hours a week is spent in there, there should be more stuff being done.
Yeah.
That should be adequate.
Yeah, so it certainly seems adequate or more than adequate.
I mean, it's 2 bathroom stalls in the women's room.
And there's
One
2
sink.
urinals and 1 stall in the men's room. So,
I'll ask Ken if there's a time card or something that we could look back for,
yeah.
see what the experience has
But
been.
even, I mean, even we said 5, but the biggest thing for me would be, can we draw off it? Because even though, in the summertime, are they really gonna go and spend 5 hours? So I'd rather
No.
bank some of those hours, right?
Right.
And then see it 3 times a week in the wintertime.
Yeah, or an extra cleaning.
Yeah,
if there's
once
an
a
event
month in the
coming up.
summer.
You know,
Yeah.
if there's a Friday or Saturday event and cleaning's done on Sunday, we obviously, you know.
Yep.
Put clean, but I don't,
So,
can we do that and do hours instead?
That's
then
that's my
so
question. I think it'd be
I'll
fantastic
I'll
if
ask
we
him
could.
about, yeah, because then that'd be a better way to manage the
The
line.
line item itself.
For the budget number, though,
It's gotta be dollars in the budget.
it does.
Yeah,
Well,
so we're
they'll
gonna say
have a-
5 hours a week times 52 weeks, right? So you're looking at 260 hours and whatever contractual rate she gets from whoever the next
We'll know
janitorial
who's
service will
hired and
be.
the number by then.
$20 an hour. That's what
No
they
idea
might
what a
end up
janitor
with.
gets paid.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I'm inclined just to leave the number where it is, and then we can, see, yeah,
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be more feedback based on her.
all right.
I mean, is there any harm in bumping it up to say, round it off to $4,000? and that
That's what
way
I
if
would
we-
do.
If we come
Yeah.
out,
4,000.
if we come out under, we're under, and that's good?
That makes sense.
Probably gonna come out over.
I would assume so.
I bet you someone's gonna get in the 20s.
All right. We're gonna jump down to
Electricity?
electricity, yep.
That's another number that we'll have to get from the town. They negotiate electrical rates for the town. So it's whatever the set rate's gonna be based off of kilowatt hours. So there's a spreadsheet that's used that they plug and chug, and then Karen White goes back in and populates the electricity for all the
I'm
facilities.
assuming the same is for propane
Propane is exactly the same
and
also.
water.
Water, well, water's on usage. I don't think we have a rate. I think the rate is the rate with Penachuk.
We're
So-
doing really well on it this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, how come?
I don't know.
Something was.
Something was
broken.
Something was.
Toilet was running full-time for a couple
No, I
of
mean,
weeks.
every-
so-
No, it
Every
had to be more than a
every
couple
toilet
months.
was
It
rebuilt,
like
I mean-
6 months,
Yeah, I don't know, something.
That meter in there was spinning.
I mean, Steve went and filled up a gallon of water and did all the math back
No, he
into
was
it. I mean,
invested.
he went through a lot of work to check that thing out.
Well, I
So
mean,
they did-
there's certain times of year too, I'm sure, where there's higher use, like October, November, December, more people.
Interesting part is the hot water heater has been completely turned off for a long time. Were we leaking there somewhere?
Do we even need hot water? I mean, for the heat, is it heat?
No, the hot water's for hot water in the bathrooms.
Bathroom,
Yeah, it's up on the, if you're facing the stage on the left-hand side, so it comes down, was underneath the stage and into there. So it got turned off, so electricity went down. Water usage looks down.
It is a bit, but not hugely. So they gave us our last 3 years. 2019, it was 1,074. 2020, 705. 2021 is when it jumped up to 1,861. And so, we're not that far off from last year, really, as we're tracking.
Really?
Because we're
Something's.
16.
Something-
The
Yeah, 'cause
water
it-
rates
it's
went
100
up like double.
Doubled,
They-
yeah.
They did, they
That's true.
doubled.
You're right, it's not about.
It did, and we're only spending about $100 a month
Yeah.
right now in there.
Yeah.
which still seems like a lot, right, based off of the use of talent,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And this is just for town hall.
just talent hall.
No,
This is crazy.
So that 25 is
Chuck is
looking
not
pretty
cheap.
accurate for where we're gonna end up with the year then, right?
Was that?
A $2,500 budget is looking about right. If it's
Probably gonna be about, if it's $100 a month, it's probably gonna be about $1,200.
We got 75% left, and we're halfway
Yeah.
through the year, so
'Cause
we'll
you
have
got-
some money left over.
This report was
because in
through
the
June
summer months, it doesn't
23rd,
get used
and we
as
spent
much.
$617.
We use it a lot more.
Yeah,
Now, I don't know
It's
if
gonna
the
be
bill for June
higher
would
in
come in, so that
October,
could be
November,
5 months, so it could be
yeah, but we use
$120 a
January,
month.
February, March.
Right,
I'm looking at a
October,
different
November, December,
number.
so
high, yeah.
Wait,
we should be at about halfway.
But are we still getting a renovation in there with more water efficient sinks and all that? Wasn't something, or a grant or something going on?
No, I think we wanted to, the money that could put back in at deliberative, I think we wanted to use some of those funds to fix some of the fixtures down there.
Okay.
I think that's what it was.
I thought there was some federal, was it ARP money or something?
Now, we
It was
wanted to
eligible for that?
earmark ARPA, but the Board of Selectmen used it all for public safety. ARPA funds, we consumed them all for
okay.
public
But we were
safety.
gonna get,
now let me bring us back to the budget.
Let's go back to the
issue.
budget. I think further down you have
that
maintenance.
right,
will
so we're
impact
thinking-
the water use.
Yeah, so for the water line, we're thinking closer to 1,200, 1,500?
I would honestly, I would keep it at 2,500.
I'd keep it
just
there, because we don't know.
I don't think it's going down. Let's just put it that way.
Maintenance and repair, wait, I should run the same line. Yep, maintenance and repair line.
So I always look at this as just in case stuff happens line.
Parachute.
Like, we did not have any extra carried in our field maintenance. We literally had essentially the field maintenance, and we know from years past, we've had issues come up where it's like, we need $3,000 or, so rather than try to find it somewhere else in the budget, this was a way to carry it. And you know what? I think it's a good way to, if we do have money left over, use it to do an improvement to something in town, but that way we have it, and if we don't use it, then we improve something, because we all know there's something we can improve somewhere in this town,
Oh, without a doubt.
But so is that,
And it's
this
not a
is
ton of money.
building repair and maintenance, is that meant for Talent Hall?
It could be
Like
used.
if
I
it
think that
gonna
was the
be-
money we
if it's
talked
gonna be
about.
painted or,
Yep. I think we were talking about this money was to fix the bathroom issues we were having
right?
and move the hot
Or-
water heating down for an on-demand hot water heater.
yeah. Better,
So we still have some of
water
those
efficiency.
options, yeah. Our original budget last year before the changes at deliberative was $4,500. That was kind of the base.
Yeah, we added 8 in at deliberative. Deliberative.
So,
8,000.
but we should, if we have that money, there's stuff that needs to be done
Oh,
in Talent.
oh, absolutely.
We have
Yeah.
tons
Not
of stuff to
tonight,
get
but
done.
we should,
Yeah, so we should come
Kinda
back to that in the last
prioritize.
quarter to make sure
yeah,
that's
and say
spent
what,
down.
what do we wanna prioritize and get done in.
Yeah, I would say as soon as our fields are shut down for the summer,
Right, then we got some
then
security.
then
with
it's
that.
like, okay, well, we're good. We know the pump isn't gonna go. Then we say, okay, well, we can do the sinks or the hot water heaters.
But I think it would behoove us to get that work done before the heavy usage starts of Town Hall.
Yes,
Agreed.
So we'd have to somehow get that work done
Yeah.
by October and on November.
Okay. Well, I have a
Probably
guy I
start
was
looking
gonna
at it
talk
now.
to.
Yeah, we just stuck in budget.
He was gonna do some on-demand, like that go like right under the sink.
Yep.
Like do like a few gallons at a time.
Way to
Water
do it.
heaters.
'Cause we don't
It's-
use
So I'm hearing an agenda item for a future meeting, because
Yes,
we can go down those
sorry.
things, so.
Alright.
For this line, do we want to put it closer to what our base was last year, or for what was put in there?
I think we keep it where it is.
I would say at least 10.
if something happens to a roof
Leave it
or
where it
something
is,
big,
Keep it where
Yeah.
it is.
I'd say
Yeah.
keep it where it is. I mean,
Because-
prices just keep going up on everything.
and that's an old building.
You never, I mean, we're well under this year so
Someone
far,
falls
but you
through
never
the
know what's
floor
gonna happen.
because it's worn out.
You never know what's
I
gonna
mean-
happen.
And it's not limited to the building, to Talent Hall, is it?
Building and maintenance, so it could be playground
Building
maintenance.
repair and.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
If we took the word building out of there, I think it's a better description.
All right, next down to trash container services.
That's negotiated with solid waste.
So that's negotiated for us.
I believe so.
Unless we wanted
Because
to
waste
just get rid of
management-
the dumpsters or
But,
something.
well, do we need to add a dumpster anywhere?
I don't think so.
You think for pickleball expansion, and everything, we're still good with the one way down?
Oh,
Or are we better off
they're-
relocating that
The
somewhere?
thing is,
Locate it.
they're just water bottles, and a lot of, I mean, they just say a lot of them bring their own refillables. They're not eating while they're there, but
that particular group, but other people are gonna
yeah,
be using
others might, yeah.
that space.
And we'll have the 2 trash barrels, and then I did mention to them, if they see them overflowing, if they could bring them down to, bring it down to the dumpster.
Great.
And maybe we should
I hope
move the
with that.
So we'll
dumpster.
get this number from the town. Looks like they actually put one in.
I think that's
so-
what we have to do, get with Dave Mellon at Solid Waste and see what the rate will be for waste management for next year.
All right, but we think the number of actual receptacles right now is sufficient. I'm not hearing any additions or removals.
No, I think it's sufficient.
Good.
All right, so toilets.
Someone will have to negotiate a contract for next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
We added
We
one
added one.
now with the pickleball courts, so this will go up
Yep.
to 135 a month times 12 months, so the 1,500. So I would say maybe this would go to 7,500.
And I think we could be a little more efficient with this if we truly did get them closed and picked up at the end of the seasons. I mean, there's some parks we want to keep them, but every year we say take them in. Sometimes they just don't even come and get them. A lot of times they'd rather just leave them there.
Yeah.
But they don't service them, which is the tough part, because then they can get pretty nasty over the winter months.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not going to service them, do we go down and padlock them? It's not a budget question, it's just more of,
Yeah, but you're right. To get rid of them on a timely manner would save us money. right?
yes.
Are there any we leave all winter? Do we leave the one at Dara?
We leave the one at Dara.
All the baseball fields
Those-
ones were there last
They
year.
were, yeah, they were supposed to
They
get
were
picked up,
left,
they
but
never
they
did,
weren't
they were
serviced.
left. The
So
only
they
one I
just
think
leave
that
them?
stays is the one we said throughout was Dara, because they use, people go down, and use the pond for ice fishing, and the
Yeah.
playground will get used on warmer days. So I think that's the only one we ever say, let's keep commissioned.
Yep.
So,
All right, a couple smaller line items, public notices and ads. If we need to post something like no camping on properties, where that would come from.
For instance,
So if we need, no camping signs? Okay.
General supplies. Guess I need more definition about what that could apply to, because
I think that's cleaning supplies, general supplies, cleaning, paper
I'm
towels,
taking
things
some
like
other
that.
stuff out of there. I'm trying to think.
I think what,
Some binders and folders and stuff when I was getting all the lost minutes, when I was finding them and
Okay.
sorting them all, but,
we feel good about that number
I think
as it
that's
stands.
$500, I mean.
Yep.
I think that we haven't spent anything, because we had so much stuff left over from the COVID years of cleaning supplies that we've just been going through them.
So much hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Equipment repair and maintenance.
repair and maintenance.
This is more of the playground stuff.
Yeah, and we've used, $400 of it.
Was this where the tractor maintenance would come out of as well?
Oh, because our tractor bill was more than that, so,
When did the tractor bill hit?
last,
I'm just wondering if it's
meeting.
last meeting, so it might not be reflected in this.
I think it was,
So in this week's budget report, when it comes out, let me check
Where's that?
last week's.
equipment repair.
Oh, they did have some more definition here. Minor tools and
So
supplies for
equipment
replacement
repair,
as
is that
needed.
the
Show shovels.
tractor, or is that playground stuff?
Peter was just reading it while we
Oh,
were
sorry.
talking over.
So for equipment repair and maintenance, that is snow blower, playground equipment, well pump repairs, gates and locks, graffiti cleaning,
Oh, okay.
HVAC service, security system.
I think that's adequate. I mean, we tend to have something pop up throughout the year. If anything, I would move the 8,000 from the building maintenance to that one, but it's a bottom line budget, right? So we can really spend from any line.
Yep.
It's not a big deal.
As long as in the budget.
But for that line, we're feeling the numbers okay?
I would think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then the lion's share of our entire budget, field maintenance. So, let me ask you, because we had put in the contract that we would check in with our vendor midsummer.
I spoke with him today.
Did you really?
In fact, and he is totally on board as long as we are to continue working for us. So
Does he
would
have
like
his rate
to-
for next year?
He does not, but he would like to come in August 8th and discuss, which is our next meeting.
Yep.
As long as everybody's cool with that.
Yep.
We are.
When did we give him a deadline to have his price in?
We didn't,
We didn't.
but I will let him know. It'd be
I
nice
think
to.
we wanted
I
to make
thought-
our decision in August,
I thought
right?
contractually it was, we had all the dates lined up
Yeah, we
in the
did.
contract.
Oh, did we?
I think it was in
Yep.
August.
I think we had a meet in August because I think, what was it, September 1st? We wanted to make sure that if they weren't gonna continue with them, it gave us
Had
time to
time.
go out for RFP, come back, have everything done before budget season started. So I think that's what it was, and I think we were supposed to, the first meeting in August is when we were supposed to take care of it.
That sounds right. Can we ask him for that price by then? Do you think?
I will find out.
Or an estimate, at least.
Tell
But
him
we should go
need it.
back and look in the contract and what the dates were, because I think we had them in the contract.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right, so we feel we might just leave that number for now, and you can ask him if he might have a
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
Yep. Leave it for now. Yeah.
So last week's budget report does not reflect any change in the equipment repair and maintenance line.
Did it go to conservations or something?
We split it.
Split it.
Split it.
Okay. Maybe it takes a bit for the bill to actually come in and get paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna see what the amount was.
Field improvements. There's nothing there.
Yeah, $1
Are
is to
there-
keep the line.
Yeah, the only thing that changed on our budget was there was a bill for the chemical toilets that went up. That got hit, 3076 in 2014. Trash containers got hit. A little bit in water went up. Water went up by like $90. And that's about it.
All right, so we don't know where the tractor maintenance piece is. Okay. All right, let's go jump back down to field
General
improvement capital.
maintenance.
It's
don't
funded
know.
at $1 just to keep the line open.
Okay. All right.
So what is that
Request to fix the soccer field.
supposed to, what's the description of that, field improvement capital?
Playgrounds, painting, upkeep.
Playgrounds, what?
Painting,
Painting, yeah.
upkeep. So, yeah.
So, does tennis courts fall under that?
It's capital.
The thing is, we don't have anything to help fund that maintenance like we do with our other sports. And I was gonna bring up under other, I mean, the grass on the tennis courts, literally on them, is almost up to my knees in the cracks.
Grass courts, just like Wimbledon. Perfect.
So I'm
We're
like,
gonna-
we gonna add that to our mowing, or do we weed whack it? Do we weed whack and spray for weeds? I'm really leaning towards we should have something
Yeah.
there, because we really wanna maintain and upkeep what we have, and
So-
try not to let things go into total disrepair.
I agree.
So as a commission, should we bring forth a warrant article and just have a recreation maintenance fund that gets funded?
I think we
right?
should.
I do
Pull
too.
from it, and if we don't use it for 3 years, we don't go back to the public and ask it, but when we need it for things such as
We
resurfacing,
want to do, like,
we have a fund
we have
that's
it.
sitting there, it doesn't
Yeah.
sit in our budget, right?
So it
And we can
rolls
draw
over.
from it.
and it
It
might
mi-
take 2 years to have enough for a project we wanna
Yeah.
do, or,
Yeah.
but I hate to have,
Well, we have all this new
It's falling
infrastructure
apart.
that we literally have no money to maintain.
Correct.
It doesn't make any sense.
So if we brought
So-
forth a warrant article that had money in there, that was
Yes.
raised and appropriated,
Help
and we can
with
draw from
maintenance.
it in order to do it, might be the way to do it, because then it's not in your budget. So we're not hitting the tax cap,
Right.
So that we can, I mean, if, that slide, we can only repair it so many times.
Correct.
And it's not gonna be cheap to replace it, and we're just gonna rip it off and put up a plywood board. You know, I feel like there's gonna be something, and the playground doesn't get self-funded, and the tennis court.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
look
so-
at the
we don't
playground we
a-
have.
We don't have a tennis association.
Playground
in
at
town.
Roy's in rough shape. The playground at Jeff Lane, Justin Bissett, is basically a fraction of what it used to be because parts got stolen off it when we had to put it back together. Those are the only two play structures we have for children in town.
And we can't use impact fees
GMS.
for those unless we're expanding and adding to them.
So I'm gonna guess that there's consensus in the body that we wanna maintain these things. I guess the question is, how do we do that? So warrant article is one way that provides a certain type of flexibility. The budget is another vehicle
Yep.
to do that, but has other challenges with it, so I guess.
Does. My fear is things being cut, trying to get into the tax cap, so I think it's the only way we can come forth and try to maintain all the equipment and all the infrastructure that we have, is by
Yeah.
having a fund.
So the warrant article makes sense for a fund that would just continue until we needed it. But do those funds then show up in the budget anywhere, or is that
Nope.
managed completely
Managed
separately?
separately.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, I think we,
I think the field improvement capital, we can keep at $1 and hope a warrant article goes through, that people want us to be able to maintain the things that we don't have leagues or associations to help with, instead of just letting them.
Like, we have a fire maintenance
Oh, okay.
repair fund in case something happens to a fire truck, right? You know, next thing you know, you need a pump.
Yeah.
So we have a fund that we can go do it. We have general maintenance on buildings, town structures, that we can go and pull from if there's an issue with the town. So it only makes sense to have the same type of fund for recreation.
yes.
Agreed.
All right, so
Okay.
let's explore that further. We'll keep this line as it is.
Yeah. So I'll put
And
that to a
then
future
next one is
meeting.
equipment purchase. That one says maintenance of equipment, so maybe that's where the tractor would be.
Can we change the name to match what it,
I don't think so.
I think these are given names based off of the account number.
Wait, what one was that under? What did you
equipment
say?
purchase?
Equipment purchase.
Line
Yeah,
740,
we have
fourth from the
600.
bottom.
So it's intended for maintenance of equipment.
Well, it says purchase.
I know, but what Peter said was
Yep.
different.
It is.
So it's called equipment purchase, but it's for maintenance?
Looks like maintenance of equipment, yep.
So we can't purchase leaf blower for all the courts we have to do now.
Well, we could, we just have to take it from another
But that's
line.
from,
Different line, looks general supplies.
that's,
Looks like it
why
qualified
would they
for that.
call it equipment purchase if it's maintenance? That's weird.
Are
Yeah.
folks okay with that number as it is?
And the intent is to,
I was trying to see how much it was with the tractor
the
to
intent is to maintain the tractor
Split it.
and, yeah, I guess that's
possibly
the
buy
only.
additional.
I mean, $600 doesn't seem like a whole lot of money.
No, I'd say $1,000
No.
anyway.
No, at least.
How much was the tractor repair that we just had to spend on?
That's what I'm looking up. I'm trying to find it.
I don't
I
remember.
mean, that's just
seeing-
routine maintenance on it, right? It
Yep.
wasn't really repair.
Right. Oh, Kubota tractor. Oh, wait a minute. It was $140 for the maintenance. So it's probably gonna be done twice a year.
So
Like-
$600 should be plenty.
Yeah, unless we feel we need,
We don't really have much other
Much else,
equipment,
yeah.
so.
But
no, but I think
But
that,
if we want to go out, just think, we as a rec, we don't own a chainsaw. We don't own a leaf blower.
no,
We don't
all
own
our own equipment.
a string trimmer. I mean, we have nothing.
My thought would be to, how we share with conservation, that tractor.
Yep,
If
share
a
other
new
equipment.
piece were, I know there were other pieces being looked at that we would split the cost, but I think conservation has a couple chainsaws. And so maybe we could get a couple leaf blowers and share equipment versus doubling up
Yeah.
on everything. Because now we don't just have 2 tennis courts, we have 6 pickleball courts. But it ends up being wear and tear on your own equipment. And I know we're all like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
mind going over there, but like our lawn tractor, that's big bucks when that went because of doing stuff that it wasn't.
We have an
set
outdoor
up for.
basketball court that
And
needs
I
to get
think-
blown off, and, you know, there's other things.
You know,
All right, so we got
You
a
know-
line item that I think already would deal with that one, right, for purchasing things, because the equipment one,
But
or general
equipment
supplies,
purchase is.
general supplies, it looks like it would cover that one.
Really?
Oh, I thought that was more like paper for printing and
That
that
too, but it
kind of
says
stuff.
rakes, snow shovels, and so that
Oh.
one
Oh.
would cover that.
So do we want to increase general supplies?
Yeah,
That might make more sense. Leave
Yeah.
it, that's 600 for the
that is
maintenance.
so weird how.
Weird how they categorize everything.
Yeah, so that would be here. I mean, people don't mind bringing rakes. That's not a big deal, but
It's more of the
when
power
it's your own
equipment.
weed whacker, your own.
The power equipment.
For general supplies.
So why don't we make that 1,500, and then change the equipment purchase, which is really maintenance, to 500.
And I think the key is when we speak to the budget committee, let them know exactly what we're allocating in each line.
Yeah.
So they understand, because they may see general supply and think the same thing we did, toilet cleaner, paper towels, paper.
But, and let them know that we're also, well, we gotta talk to conservation, but so that we're not duplicating things.
Mhm.
That, we can share equipment, it
We are
makes
being
more
good stewards.
sense. And I guess it can be stored where the tractor is, in the tractor's in the fire station with all
The
the
dry
pieces,
storage?
and I think that,
Sit in the dry storage where everything goes.
I think
So
that's
checking
where
with-
the chainsaws are and the chainsaw oil.
I think checking with conservation ahead of the presentations makes
Yep.
good sense. So
Yeah,
that's good.
so that they know we're working together and not double dipping on
Yeah.
like similar same items.
All right, last item, program expenses, fishing derby, Xmas and Christmas, Easter egg hunt, et cetera.
Spirit of Litchfield stuff.
I think 2,000 is perfect,
Yeah,
Yep.
and we should try to spend that.
and I feel like we don't,
80%.
because we got so much other little stuff that we've gotta take care of, scheduling, and it's like we already got so much on our plate that it's overwhelming to put an event
Together,
together,
yeah.
and I'd love to be able to do more of that for the community, but
What else did we have coming up in that? We do something around the December holidays?
well,
It's-
Spirit of Litchfield didn't have as much.
Yeah, so it could be new things, so.
Okay.
We've
But
got,
there's not much left, is what I'm looking at. We've spent 80% of it already,
right.
and we're halfway through the year. So is it enough?
I think it will be. Spirit of Litchfield has their own fund too that they put into the revolving fund, so we don't have to 100% support it.
Yeah, I mean, what we have
Okay.
left really is Christmas in Litchfield, and if someone chose to do a fall
Yeah,
fest,
we have 80% left.
80% left.
Oh,
So
80%
Yeah.
Yeah,
left.
we've only
Sorry.
expended
Okay.
$400.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where last
that
year, I
case, we're
think they
good.
had Spirit of Litchfield had 3 events, right? A Spring Fest,
Fest, Easter egg hunt,
and Fall Fest.
Fall Fest, and
Oh, and the Christmas in Litchfield, yeah. So they didn't do all of those.
Yep.
This year, but something else may come up.
so which
too.
one did
We
we,
did
we
the-
haven't missed any of them this year,
We
right?
did the,
We did the
they just
fishing
did the
derby,
car show, right? That's,
car show, but we didn't use
Spirit of
any.
Litchfield, so far
funds
this
for
year,
that.
they did the Easter egg hunt, right?
We didn't, I don't think we put any money towards that.
We didn't, though, that's why I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of, they didn't,
So
so.
the
what-
fishing derby we
Fishing
did.
derby we did, and what would be left if it was chosen would be Fall Fest
Fall Fest
and
and Christmas.
Christmas.
And we could even add our own component to those if
Mm-hmm.
there was something that we wanted.
But I still think the 2,000's good.
All right.
I agree.
All right, let's wrap on this. Are there other discussion points or questions for this draft, which I'll send along, make sure it tracks as the discussion, and then we'll go back and forth before the end of the month. Thank you, everybody, for walking through that. So I know it's a bit granular, but good to get it done earlier in the budget season and
Yes, it is.
move it ahead. So thank you.
So
Next,
in that discussion, we talked about a warrant article. How do we move forward on that?
yeah, we can come back to that in August. We got a little
We
bit of
have it
time.
for
We
the
have
agenda in
time.
August.
All
What-
warrants have to be in by December, so we
What
have
did-
some time.
what
We can
did
work
you-
with legal counsel to get the right verbiage and how we should write it.
Yeah.
You know, we can meet with others and see what breadth should it encompass,
So what,
Okay.
did we say?
So we can
It
work on
would
it
be
next
more of
month.
like a property maintenance.
Mhm.
Or maintenance. Just so I have it for when to add to the minutes.
All right, jumping back to cameras and videos at Roy Memorial Park.
That was Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah, I keep bringing this up, but I think it's still, an important thing. If we look at the How much time has Judy spent cleaning graffiti? The lights in front of the pavilion are damaged. I think there's maybe one or two that are working, and the others are vandalized.
So there is a camera up over there, so if something like
It
that
sees
comes up,
the front of the
we can see the pavilion and the whole
Pavilion.
pavilion.
So the issue with those
Okay.
lights, I think the gasket has failed. So now when you replace the bulbs fail because water's getting into it.
It looks like it's more than just that.
Okay.
When I was looking at
The
it.
last time I replaced them, that's what the issue was. You could see that there was all weather rot in the grommets and everything when I
Yeah.
replaced all the bulbs.
Okay, so maybe the whole fixture needs to be
We might,
replaced, but
yeah.
I think there was some vandalism there as
The-
well.
The important part, so the system that we have over there is a local system, it's not connected to Wi-Fi or network.
Yep.
So we have to physically go there to look at the video, so if anybody sees anything or reports anything, it needs to be brought up right away so that we can get out there to
Yeah,
do it.
That's fine, we gotta
It
get,
stores for about 30 days, so.
So it
I
rolls
think actually
over.
there it might be a
we
little
have to
bit
get more
longer,
people using that QR code when they see it, because then we have a date and time stamp.
And it may
When they
also
notice
behoove
the
us to make all the
graffiti.
pavilion lights on a motion sensor too. Change them out to LED, so they don't consume a lot of electricity, and put them on a motion sensor.
Yeah, there are some lights internal up there, and it looked like there was a motion sensor there, but
They're on the concession stand for softball, there's a motion sensor on those.
on the snack shack.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at the pavilion itself. I thought there was a
I don't
motion
think there's
sensor
motion
there,
over
but
there.
I,
Think so. Well, they could be motion and the switch could be off for them too, right?
Inside the pavilion, there's 3 LED strips that are on a motion detector.
Oh,
They
okay.
automatically turn on when you walk into the pavilion.
Okay.
Thank you. From the man who probably installed them.
okay.
So
Right
we,
to the source.
we do have cameras there, it's
Okay.
just a matter of being timely enough to
Yes.
catch the
Yeah,
culprit.
so there's a camera that watches the pavilion, there's a camera that watches the fields, and there's a camera that watches the playground.
We should know within a month.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it depends what time of year. If it's the winter
Right.
time and not a lot of people are down there,
Right.
probably not, but.
I don't know how to get people to use the QR code more,
I know.
you know, because then, rather than, sometimes we find out something's broken because we read it on social media, otherwise we have
Yeah.
no idea. I mean, it is getting used more and more,
Yeah,
but,
It's just more and more public awareness, the more we can
Yeah.
get it out there.
Yeah.
but
I think
then,
it builds over
that
time.
way we all get an email, and as soon as someone notices it,
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of keep pushing it on our Facebook page.
Thank you.
But
Whenever you see something on social media, respond to it by saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Use
Yes.
use the QR code.
we should be posting it on social media too, if we can. Just letting people know it's there.
Yep, I'll do that more often, because
Yeah.
we had done it and put it there, and,
On the topic of cameras, I'd like to see something added in Town Hall, in and around Town Hall, because I don't think the system that's there works.
no.
So, and that might be a
I agree,
kind of a roundabout way, but a way we could track,
both inside and
Cleaning.
outside.
Oh,
yeah,
true.
track the cleaning services.
For
Yeah.
instance, yeah.
Now, what would that fall under? In the budget? You can't use
Bottom line
impact
budget,
fees.
so you
Building
can take it
maintenance.
anywhere.
Okay,
But what I like to see us do in the budget is try to follow the line items as close as possible,
Yeah.
because then we'll have
But like
history
they're
on
intended, so
how
we
we
know.
have to fund
Right.
each line.
Really did.
Right.
Because I think that we can be better stewards of the money by knowing exactly where we're expending money.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the numbers were, but it was on the order of, I want to say around $10,000 to do some of the cameras that we were talking about last time we talked about this. And I think you had,
I don't remember, I don't remember, I can certainly revisit it, but, yeah, it's been a while.
yeah. Do we want to include something like that in one of the line items in the budget, or do we want to handle that some other way? Or do we want to do anything at all? I mean, I think
It's tough because it's a one-time expenditure, right? So do you really want to carry in the budget, or do you want to fund it another way?
yeah, it's the kind of thing that fits in this revolving
Yeah.
fund that we talked about a warrant article for. And that could take,
That's kind of where I
2 or 3
think
years
that
till we
money
get
would
there.
come out of.
All right, so we'll come back to this with the warrant article discussion, and then if we want to take the next steps at that time for pricing it out and thinking about what we might need to ask for. Okay. All right, thank you. Next reimbursement for trash can chains and lids.
so that's the two, whatever you want to call them, chain things, to chain the covers to the fencing on the pickleball courts. And then the two 60-inch gang boxes, they are not in, they are on order, they should be here next week. And then the locks for them. And everything came in under what we approved.
So this is coming out of impact fees?
Yeah.
So, okay.
So that's the total expenditure, the 1259.41.
12, oh, shoot. The trash can chain things were 1990, oh, I don't have it with me, 1996, I think. It fell under the amount that we budgeted.
Do we have to
And
add
then
it to
the
this when we do the motion, though? The 1996, or is this the total amount that we're?
No, the
voting?
12, oh, wait a minute.
How about if we make a motion to
I think,
reimburse
you
you
know
up
what-
to $1,500?
Yeah, that works.
Because then when you
For
figure out
whatever
the
the
final math
expenses
with the
were.
receipts and everything, we'll know exactly.
Right.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I'll
The
make,
1259 does include the 1996, sorry.
well, I will make a motion to refund Judy up to $1,500 for the purchases she made in relationship to the pickleball courts out of the impact fee money.
Good. We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Is there further discussion?
I'm just looking at the numbers we reviewed before, and it was just under $300 for the covers, for the trash barrels and the covers, and then.
So I was already reimbursed for, no, the trash barrels and covers were already
Okay.
ordered through town hall. But I had to get the bolts and
For the lids.
the chain
Yep.
pieces, yeah. And then we had approved 1,200 for 2 gang boxes and $50 for locks. So I got outdoor weatherproof locks. And actually, the lock set came with extra lock, but we need one to give the fire station for closing up river access, because they did not like our zip tie.
It was high-tech.
So, and we had approved spending that, but the locks were in a 3-pack and much cheaper, so I. Should I not say that?
No, we approve it.
Okay.
On the budget.
Yep.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Opposed, abstained, 501.
Judy, what was the total price for the chains and locks?
In the gang boxes, 12.
No, not the gang box, just chains and locks, but what was the number you said?
I think it's 1996. I have the receipt sitting at the table at home, but I'll let you know for sure.
$19.96.
Good, moving on. Litchfield Pickleball Association.
Oh, they're gonna, just a heads up that they're gonna do 2 free intro sessions for the town of Litchfield. You don't have to be a member of the Pickleball Association. Saturday, July 22nd at 9 a.m., Wednesday, July 26th at 6 p.m. People don't need to register, and I'll get it up on our Facebook page.
Fantastic, so folks can just show up.
They can
residents
just
are-
show up.
Awesome.
And they'll have rackets and everything for them to use?
They'll have some spare if you don't have any. They have balls, or you can bring your own if you have them. Yep, and they'll have enough people to do like an introduction to pickleball skills for whoever wants to do that.
Very good. Appreciate that. And lastly, under new business, events on rec property, doing walkthroughs ahead of time.
Yeah, just, we've been having a lot more going on in our property, so like when Jeff and I went down before the, college showcase for softball, and knowing that a few days after we were having the car show, and the trash cans were overflowing, I almost threw up on him. There was graffiti to be cleaned, making sure the porta potties were done, which one of them wasn't and was full to the top. So I think when we have bigger events, we should just, I don't know, take turns doing a walkthrough of the property and just making sure it's good to go. I'd hate for someone to have a big event and have trash overflowing, or,
It'd be good to have a pre and post, right?
yeah.
Did the people
Yeah.
clean up after
I
themselves?
mean, I think it's a good idea asking them to empty the trash, which the groups have been doing.
Yep.
Emptying the trash, putting it in the dumpster.
The Fusion did a good job
And they
cleaning
got-
that up.
Yeah, they had their 2 portable bathrooms down there and had those cleaned.
Yep.
And we were able to use those. ours didn't get done. I
Correct.
guess there was just some miscommunication or something. But yeah, I want it to look good and look presentable if people are gonna be using it.
Yeah,
Especially if we're gonna also be charging for, if they're not for profit or not all Litchfield people. I just wanna make sure.
All right, so maybe just as a practice before events, not.
Yeah,
normal
whoever has
meetings,
like
but
time
just
to walk over there and just,
And also as a whole, should we as a commission walk our property quarterly or something?
I think
just to
we
go
should.
Check it all out as a group, what do we see, what needs to be maintained, what's going on?
no,
I mean, I don't think it would hurt us to do that 4 times a year. We don't have so many
No.
properties to go to. Just give it a quick once-over as a group.
yeah,
Do them all
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
4 times a year?
Roy Memorial Park will be the
That would be
biggest
the
one,
big
cause you
one.
got the beach and.
Yep.
And everything, but hopefully we don't have a winter like we had this year with, I think Kevin said he removed 11 trees,
He did, he took down a lot.
It's a lot
And
of,
there were
lot
still-
of trees.
a lot of stuff to remove.
And there's a lot of standing dead ones now.
But I think it wouldn't hurt us to go do that.
No, and make us aware of,
Sounds like a commission field trip and team bonding activities we can do.
Can we get t-shirts and jackets made up, please?
No, wasn't in the
It's not
budget.
in the
You missed
budget.
the
no,
opportunity.
but
It's too late.
I do think when we run events,
Do the
it would be
ropes
nice
course.
if we had something that identified us, like especially at the fishing derby. Everybody spread out and who they can talk to, but that's it for another time.
That's right, for the logo committee that we'll need to establish. All right, thank you for that. So jump into old business, a little bit more on the pickleball courts.
Can I add something under new business?
Please, yep.
I've had some expenses for fixing the swings and the sliding board, so what's the process for, came out to $67.94.
No problem. So we have receipts for all those. We can make a motion to have you reimbursed and approve that, and then you can submit them to Karen White and the town office.
But we have to approve him spending it first. That's why
Right.
number one, and having you to,
Right.
because otherwise, that's a classic
Yeah,
example.
right.
We would have
Yeah.
had all those people there over 5 days span of time with the softball showcase and the car show, and the
Yeah,
Broken
but
slide
we would
and
never
the
say
broken
no
swing.
to fixing a swing for $67,
It was a swing and a slide.
It's not like
Swing.
we would
No.
stiff him on that.
No, but we have to, the process we have now is we have to approve him spending it
Prior to him
first.
going to do it, so,
Prior to him, yes.
so by giving the
I
chair,
guess technically, but logically,
Logically, I know, we never would, but it does draw out the process, so
Practically.
now we have
Right.
to,
Okay, so we
Kind
need
of
2
backtrack.
motions to approve and then,
but after this meeting, we won't have to. Peter can just say, yes, we'll
All right,
get what we need.
I'll make a motion to approve the expenditures of up to $75 for Jeff.
I will
and
second.
Playground repair.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Is there discussion?
thank you for doing that.
yes,
That's
thank you
right,
very
yeah.
much.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. It passes 600. And we need another motion to approve reimbursement.
I'll make a motion to approve the reimbursement of
I'll-
up to $75
I'll
for
second.
playground.
Motion and a second.
Second.
Discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. Passes 600. All right, very good, thank you. All right, now jumping back to pickleball courts. A couple final items for that. First, we have a new portable bathroom up on the courts. I didn't stop in today. Should have been there by today or tomorrow.
A lot of people down there playing when I drove by.
Yeah, tonight, they looked all full.
Good.
They had a ton of use.
Yeah,
That's
good
great.
stuff. So,
As far as the pathways and signs go, so
sorry,
that,
let me,
oh, sorry.
so I gotta finish one thing on the portable bathroom. So same piece, need to approve the expense for the portable bathrooms. That's a new additional
Okay.
asset for us. So can I get a motion to approve?
Move that we pay for the portable bathroom at Sawmill.
I'll second.
Second, any discussion?
Is that through impact fees?
No, this
It is
is
not.
separate.
This is
gonna
just
come
gonna
out
hit
of
our
our
budget.
budget, so we now have another comfort castle within the overall line item of chemical toilet rental.
Yeah, so they'll amend their contract. I went with the handicap size because there's no other one up there, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
People appreciate the extra room.
We got the handicap spaces and the walkway, so you might as well have the
There you
handicap
go.
bathroom too.
All right, further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 600.
I'd like to move that we stop calling them comfort castles unless they have running water and AC.
Well, the one out by the gate did have running water there over the weekend.
All right, so pathways and signs, so I believe the signs have been ordered, I know that we received the W-2 from the vendor, and I believe Karen signed off on whatever we needed to sign off and got that back to him. I can follow up with him on that to see what the timeline is. I have not ordered the gravel yet, and that's really just on me, just because I haven't been able to do anything because of this. So I was not necessarily waiting for it to get better, but I know we're gonna need the tractor for it, and we need to line everything up, so I kinda wanna.
So just when you're feeling up to it, but Jay said he could come and help too.
Okay.
But you're probably better, he said, you're better driving the tractor and we could do the shoveling of stone because you really,
Yeah, I can't do, I had my
No.
follow-up today, and I'm.
can you drive the tractor? That's
I can
what he
drive the
asked me.
tractor,
You
yeah.
can drive the
I don't
tractor.
really know how, yeah.
So my thought here is, since these are gonna be ADA appliant gravel paths.
They don't have to be,
They don't.
they don't have to be ADA, we got the handicap walkway already.
Yeah, but the wide one, if we gravel that, it's considered a legal egress.
Correct, so doing that.
Yeah.
Would we be better off having the highway department do it since they're used to doing that type of work? Not saying that we can't,
No.
but from a liability standpoint.
If they did the egress, then we'll know it's done right and it's a legal egress and
We can
then,
still get the crushed gravel and everything
and then we
for
can put
that.
in the crushed gravel.
But that's the
and
only thing I'm
then
thinking then. At least we
the
know it's
side
done
path
right in
to-
case anything ever happens.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I'd have to
Yeah.
ask the highway department, do they have time for it, put in
Yeah.
a work order for it, but I think it may be better off for everybody if we did that.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
So you okay to take that?
Yeah, I'll take that.
I think it's gonna protect the court too, cause right now you got all kinds of sand being dragged in there and,
There.
Yeah, almost like when we wanted to do the patch to, what was it, Parker Park or something, they went down and did it, because they're like, we
Yeah.
patch all day long, just let us go down and do it.
So the price that I got from Tim's Turf was for 9 yards, that we approved. I
yeah,
forget
that
what it
was
up to,
approved already.
I think it was up to $500 for that. One of the things that I had been considering now is instead, my original thought was to have that wide path and then also come off of the handicap path, go around the back to that center door. But I thought it might be nice if we come off of that center door out to a little seating area, maybe build some sort of a cover like they have the pavilion down by the soccer fields, or put up some sort of shaded area for them to sit in with picnic tables and
Well, I
stuff,
think
so,
it'll be more than them using it
yeah.
and just they're gonna buy their own picnic tables.
Oh, nice.
But it's a pain to mow around.
That's why if it's gravel.
So
So
that's
that's-
where we can
yeah.
dig out our own area with the tractor.
That was
and
my thought.
figure out,
Yeah, we put in a gravel area there. We've got about a little over 17,000, if my math is right, 17,000 to play with here, with the remaining funds. So, I'm thinking we could probably get a little pavilion built for that, or look into some of those, the mesh sails or whatever they are. I don't know how much those
Yeah.
cost, but,
Oh, like the shades you find at playgrounds a lot?
yeah. yeah.
We
So-
may be able, maybe someone in town with a business might be willing to help us out a little bit too.
That would be
and
nice
so
back there.
we can, yeah, it would, and I think
nice to have
people would be
shade.
coming off the bike path and probably stopping in there too.
Want us to kind of,
I can run with that, and try and get some figures.
all right, I mean, you've done a lot of work with all these, like digging into finding numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
If you need any help or want us to do anything, I think it's a great idea,
All right,
for sure.
We got
Yeah.
fingers and
I
toes.
can look into that.
Help you count.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
So Steve, if you look into highway department digging out the egress,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind going down and shoveling stone.
Okay.
I just don't wanna drive
I'll
the
talk with
tractor,
the road agent and see
Drive the
what they
tractor.
can do.
you know. So then we can have, whatever delivered and I can go over there and get it done.
Yeah, but if they already have the machine, it might be easier just to spread the stone that way too.
Yeah, we can.
Save a lot of
Let
handling.
it go down, like I can help out with it, we can all jump in on it.
All right,
Thank you. All right, moving on to other business. Want to first take the opportunity to thank all the volunteers and residents who came down to help out with the beach cleanup day and the park cleanup day. So thank you to Judy. Jeff, we know you were deeply involved in cleaning things up, so.
stunk for days.
Thank you both.
Yeah, we had a great group of volunteers and Tim's Turf
Yeah.
donated and delivered 5 yards.
Which is great for the
Mulch,
playground,
so,
for
yeah.
safety for the kids, yeah,
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, it was nice.
You know,
It's
we
much,
probably
much
had about
better,
20
so thank you
volunteers,
for
so
everyone.
It was really good.
Who participated in that, certainly appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
I have two other small things. Want to plant the seed around our website. Reached out to John Burnell to start the conversation about possibly migrating over our current site to the town website so it's more uniform, and it just needs a cleanup. In any case, to get agendas, minutes up there routinely connected to social media, etc. So, want to plant that in your brains for conversations in August about what we might want to do with that. The other piece is I would like to ask for a volunteer for a new committee in town for the Economic Development Committee. It's representation from the different commissions in town. They have an organizational meeting on Thursday the 20th, which I cannot attend. I'm happy to serve as the standing member on that body, but would love for us to be represented, at least just for the organizational meeting. Or at the organizational meeting. It is at 6:30 on Thursday, the 20th. There's not much business, it's organizational, but would love to make sure we were in at the front end. Is anybody available that
I'm gonna check
Thursday evening?
now.
It's slated to be up to a 1-hour meeting.
I am available. This is gonna be like to attend in your place and get the general
Yes,
information?
yeah, I'm out of town that night, and cannot be there.
That's next Thursday, a
It
week
is.
from Thursday. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I can go for you.
Okay, I can give you a little bit more info. Yeah, there's not much information right now, but I think that they're just
Is it
trying to.
here in town?
It is.
Yeah, it's to
in
help
town.
work on the master plan,
Okay,
economic growth, what are we gonna do? What services do we need?
and that's their first meeting?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I can go for you.
Okay, I'll follow up with you some more information. Thank you, Judy. All right, next, we're done with public agenda items. Next meetings are August 8th and 22nd, but we do have a non-public issue to
doing two in
discuss.
August? Are we doing 2 in
We are
August?
doing, who knows.
Yeah, we did one until June, and we decided to do 2 in August because we had to,
The field of maintenance.
Field requests and also all the
And
field
the-
requests start coming in for the
and the-
fall in the field maintenance.
in the field maintenance, that's
Okay.
why, so.
All right, so at this time, I'd like to see if we get a motion to go into non-public session under RSA 91-A:3, to C, under reputation. I'd like to ask for a roll call. First, do I have a motion?
So moved?
Do I have a
Second.
motion and a
Second.
All right, we'll call the roll. Vice Chair Andy Ruggles,
Aye.
Secretary Judy Brennan,
Aye.
Member Jeff Town,
Aye.
Member Chris Burns,
Aye.
Selectman's Rep Steve Weber,
I'm a yes.
Peter Ames, Chair, yes. Passes 6-0-0, so we will now close the public meeting for tonight.